Hi everyone, welcome to Poppy DIY Crafts. Today we're doing a pony custom. Rather, we are customizing the mane of Princess Celestia. So I really do like the brushable manes on these ponies. However, I think they would look really great if they were in colored resin. So I did one for Twilight Sparkle recently. I did a Princess Twilight Sparkle in her grown-up form using resin. I had a difficult time getting the resin to fill the mold. It didn't turn out as good as I would have liked. So I wanted to try it again. This time, I'm going to learn from my mistakes and have some new ideas on how I can make it work. Hopefully, the results will be even better. So, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the mane. So we're going to take off her beautiful glittery hair. And I'm going to cut as close as we can to the scalp. And we're also going to remove the tail. The next thing we want to do is build a mold of the hair. So I've gone ahead and using regular oven baked clay to make a mold of Celestia's hair. I did this off camera because it actually took a long time, but here is the final result. So it's going to be about two pieces. One is the long flowing mane on the back, coming from the back, and one is the bangs coming from the front. And there's actually a third piece, a tiny little piece that we will stick over here. So hopefully we can make it look like this once we have the resin poured. What we're going to do different this time, and I hope it works, is to create a flat mold. So we're going to take this clay and flatten it before we bake it. My idea stems from knowing that resin takes about 12 hours to harden and 24 hours to fully cure. So we have some time in between to shape the resin while it's still soft. I'm not really sure what that time is. I think it's going to be around 6 to 8 hours. So what I'm going to do is check after 4 hours and then every 2 hours afterwards to see if we can take the resin out of the mold. Let's go ahead and bake them. Once the clay is cured, we're going to make a mold of it using composing mold. This is a reusable mold, so it's very convenient. All you have to do is microwave it for about 30 seconds and then we can use it. So I'm going to pour this composing mold on the very bottom here. Add the clay pieces. Then we'll pour more composing mold on top. In a larger container, we're going to do the same for the back mane and tail. Since this is pretty thin, we only have to wait about an hour for it to set. The next thing I want to do is to spread the wings a little bit so that it looks like it is flapping outwards. I did the same thing to Twilight and I really like the result. I think the wings are just a little bit too close together in this form right now, but if we can spread it a little bit, I think it looks so much better. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to take my heat gun and we're going to gently heat the wings around this area so that it is soft. Once it's soft, we're going to spread it out a little bit and then hold it until it cools down again. And once it's cooled down, the plastic will stay in that shape. You don't want to melt it too much or else the plastic will completely melt. And the way I did it with Twilight last time was I kept it upside down kind of like this on her back a little bit so that the wings will stay spread while it's cooling down. So the mold is set. Let's go ahead and cut it out. Here is the mane and tail. Looks super cool. Alright, now we're ready to pour the resin. So I'm going to be using some alcohol ink. For the blues and greens, I'm going to be using Lake Blue, Ocean Green, and Sky. And for the purple, I'm going to mix magenta with lavender. Let's measure out the 2-part epoxy resin. After mixing it, I'm separating it out into smaller cups, one for each color. Now we're going to add a few drops of color to each cup. We'll mix each of them very well. For the front mane, we'll pour the blue and the green. Here on the back mane and tail, we're going to pour all 4 colors. So it's been about 6 hours and the resin has set. So it's in its final shape but not completely hardened. As you can see here, it's still pretty flexible. At this time, we're going to take it out of the mold and let it finish curing outside the mold on the pony. So let's go ahead and take out the small piece first and see how it looks. So as you can see, it's still a little bit soft. Here's our first piece, and at this time we can also trim off the little edges here. Still kind of soft and malleable, so we can just trim it with scissors. So here's the front part of the mane. Here's the side piece. Okay, and here is the back piece of the mane. Hopefully we can take this out in one big piece. I don't want to take too long because the resin is still curing as we work. Okay, it's coming out. Alright, it's looking really good. Now we're going to attach it to Celestia's head. Let's put the 2 pieces in position first, and then secure it with some super glue. And then we're going to glue this little side strip to the side of her face. Alright, now we can take out the tail. This tail piece is looking really good. So I've gone ahead and glued the end of the tail to the body, and then with some masking tape, I'm curling the tail a little bit so that it doesn't stick straight out. I'm using the tape to pull and secure it so that it stays curved. Now we're going to wait overnight for it to fully cure. And here is Celestia so far. What do you think? I think she looks really beautiful. So the resin is matte right now and not shiny because the mold is not shiny. But we can fix this by adding another layer of resin on top. We're going to do this with UV resin so that we don't have to wait another day for it to cure. We're also going to use the resin to even out the sections along the edges where it's thinner. We're going to use UV resin here on the front mane, closing up the gap between the 2 pieces. And also the tail here, give it a nice coat of resin. The UV cures the resin in just a few minutes, so this is so much faster. Alright everyone, and here is Princess Celestia. What do you think? I am actually really happy with the result of this project. Just take a look at Celestia. She is so beautiful. So her hair is super shiny because this resin is super shiny, and I just love the little colors coming through. And because this is resin, you can kind of see through it, so that gives it that really cool look. Here's an up close look. So here is the front piece of the mane kind of flowing off to the side and connects with the side piece, the back piece of the mane. And here on the end, it kind of curls up a little bit. Here is the tail. The tail is actually a really long piece, but instead of sticking straight out, we have it curved a little bit to the side. So I think one improvement I could make is making the colors more real to Princess Celestia. Here the blues and greens actually did have 3 colors, however they kind of all blended and they were too close to each other, so you can barely see the differences. There's some lighter blues and a little bit of a darker blue, but you can't see the green at all. And here on the back piece of the mane, there's just a little bit too much pink. So somehow I have to figure out a better way to control the colors and make them stand out and also stay in their place. The same thing with the tail here. The pink kind of took over a large section of the tail, and then you can't really see the dark blue or the green. They're kind of just a mix of bluish green. However, I still think she turned out really beautiful. And just to compare, of course, we do have Princess Twilight Sparkle here in her grown-up form. If you saw my other video, you know that I had some difficulty getting the resin to set because we made the mold curved and it was really hard to get that resin in there. But I think she turned out really nice too. So here are my 2 resin ponies. And I think now I have to go and make Princess Luna. So let me know down below in the comment section what you think of my Princess Celestia. Do you like her? If you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye!